My name is Lora-Jean, and welcome back to part 2. And this might be done in a few segments. Today was a busy day. It snowed all day, and it's just what you get when you live in a cold climate. You're gonna have to stop what you're doing and deal with the snow. We had a significant amount of ice on the ground, and we was kind of hoping that the the snow would start out sticky, because that would take the slipperiness out of the ice. No, it came right down just as fluffy as can be, so it made the ice extremely slippery underneath. So doing chores was a little out there this morning. Hauling two 5-gallon buckets across snow-covered ice. I got about 10 feet away from the water station, the water cubby, and I just went back and got the utility sled, and I put them in 4 2.5 gallons, 2.5 gallon buckets that I had covers for, and then hauled them the rest of the way, because when you go up to the water cubby, it goes uphill, and I just couldn't get traction. I just couldn't get traction at all. So ice stabilizers is what I had on my feet. But when you've got more than a half-inch of snow, it just they can't reach down to grab the ice, so you might as well be wearing slippers out there. So tonight I'm going to talk a little bit about aging and homesteading, or aging and living off-grid, or aging and living off-grid while you're homesteading. I am 55 years old. I have multiple birds. If you've watched my other videos, you can go right down the playlist. You'll know that I've got some birds. And I live semi-primitively, which means I have no running water, I have no electric. I do have a cell phone, and I have a generator, I have a well, I have a gray water system, which go back to me in the woodshed. And I think the title is Some People Just Don't Get How Some of Us Live, or something like that. I went on a little bit of a rant in the woodshed one night. So I live alone, and I homestead, small homestead. So it's a lot of work for one person, and it's certainly a lot of work for a woman, and it's a lot of work for a 55-year-old woman who can see herself slowing down. So, I haul my water, I haul my grain, I haul my wood, I haul this and I haul that, and everything is done manually. Everything is done manually. I've got some pretty, for a 55-year-old hefty woman, I've got some guns on me. So, and that's just by the nature of how I do a lot of heavy lifting. So, can you homestead when you're in your 50s, your 60s, your 70s, your 80s? Yes, you can. It depends on what you want, how to live. I can't see myself another 20 years hauling all my water. No, I just can't see doing that, even though I'm in pretty good shape right now. Who knows what's coming down the road with any of us. But I have a soon-to-be 81-year-old stepdad who lives way at the end of this road. So he's going to be 81 in just a handful of days, like in a week. And let me tell you, he saws firewood. He does the plowing for this whole road here, which is a long road. He cuts his own lumber. He does gravel work. He hunts. He fishes, and he is so active. So my soon-to-be 81-year-old stepdad can run circles around most people. He is very physically fit. He's in really, really good shape. He's worked hard all his life. He's on the go, on the go, on the go, really, really busy all the time. But that's this lifestyle. The way I live and the way we live in here is just the firewood's got to be done. The animals have to be done. There's always shoveling to be done. There's so much that has to be done on a daily basis that it just keeps you in shape. It keeps you pretty young. Now, if you've got arthritis like I do, and I have a form of Lyme disease, you're in a lot of pain. You're in a lot of pain, but pain, you cannot let pain get the best of you. You get up in the morning and you get going. You get going. It might be a little slow. You might grunt and groan. You might do what I do and add a few swear words in there. But you've got to get up and you've got to move. Doesn't matter how much it hurts, you have to go. You just have to keep going. So 81, I know personally of an 81-year-old who is more physically fit than most 81-year-olds that I've ever met. He just built a house. And he wanted to live like I do. He wanted to haul his water. He didn't know about an outside toilet, if he was going to get a gray water system, if he was going to get a septic. He likes the idea of living like I do, which is semi-primitive. But he did that it was less than 6 months, and he was ready for a well. He was ready for a basic toilet instead of a sawdust toilet. He was ready for regular lighting, DC lighting, instead of oil lamps. So he found that living like I did, it was a little too much for his 81-year-old body to do. Yeah, and I can see that, and that's where I'm headed to. If I'm ever lucky enough to live to be 80 years old, I hope I can keep living the way I do for that long. So this lifestyle, if you're not in shape when you get into this lifestyle, it's going to make you in pretty good shape and in a hurry. You're going to get strong. You're going to build endurance. You're gonna sleep good at night, let me tell you. You're just gonna sleep good at night. So anyway, this is getting a little bit long. I'm going to probably add another segment to this. But before I go, I just want to say that a couple of days ago, I was called an old lady. 55 years old. 55 isn't old. But he was like 13 years old, and when I was 13, someone of my age was old. So I get it, but I'm not old at 55. Some days I feel it, but I'm not old.